I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I had a feeling it was gonna happen. They gave me a copyright strike. Oh my god. First copyright strike. It'll fall off in 90 days or so, but wow. Wow. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Zach Edey, though, Zach Edey's that far up the board at pick 8, pick 9. Wow. Wow. That's insane. That is insane. That is insane. Zach Edey went way, 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 way higher. Insane. Sheesh. Derpy says Zach Edey to Memphis is crazy. That alley oop is going to be fun. Those of you who are just now joining, man, they pulled the video. They pulled the video. I knew it was going to happen because I was broadcasting YouTube TV on here, but they instantly. It took them a while to catch up, but they pulled it. And so, as much as that pisses me off, we go on. So I will not include the video or the live stream of the podcast itself. But I mean, I'll still sit here and react with you. Yeah, Derpy says Disney is Disney. They suck. They literally as soon we had I think 50 people in here at least. There was at least 50 people in here, which is pretty good numbers, for a live stream for me, anyways. But they pulled it. They gave me a copyright strike on it. Hopefully, it'll fall off in 90 days or 90 days or so. For any of you guys who are not familiar with that, if you get a copyright strike, if you get more than 3, they terminate your channel. So I gotta toe the line with that type of stuff, which I was a little hesitant to do in the first place, but we got away with it for a little while. Again, if you're just coming in, make sure to hit that like button, cook the books for me, help me with the algorithm, especially since they just gave me that. Sucks. But Edey going that high, that's insane, man. That is insane. Draft tracker, yeah, maybe I should try and do something like that. I have to look into doing that right now if I can. Let's see here. Let us see. But yeah, that's that Disney and YouTube, man. Yeah, I can't believe they gave me a strike for that. But Disney is Disney. YouTube is YouTube. They're going to do what they do. Had a feeling it would happen. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean it's my first one. I've never had one before. As much as I use the NBA's content. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying not to, man. It might be the static feedback might be due to the microphone that I'm using right now. Is it that bad? Is the feedback that bad? Okay, so we're good. Okay, thanks. Appreciate you, man. All right, who's Utah taking? Cody. Okay. See, I had Cody. I thought Cody was going to go in the top 10. I like the pick there though. That's a good pick for them. And who knows what Utah's going to end up doing with the core that they have there. Derpy says it's back. Not sure what it could be, man. Honestly, I am not sure what it could be. Trying to think about what it could be. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut the stream short. I don't want it to bother you guys too much, but we'll see. Let's try to adjust these settings here. Audio. Trying to reduce the background noise. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, we're halfway to 20. We'll see if we get there. We'll see if the stream makes it that far. Dan says a lot quieter. Appreciate it. I'm trying to adjust, man. I'm trying to adjust. Cody Williams. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Maybe, hopefully. I still cannot believe that they did that. Pick 11. We are at pick 11. I honestly do hope that we end up landing a man. Eric Adelman says, looks like we could land Deron Holmes. It would be awesome. He's number one on my board for picks that we could potentially get, and I think that would definitely work out. I think it would definitely work out. Oh, man, what a day. What a freaking day. Devin Carter, if Devin fell that low, that would be insane. But I mean, crazier things have happened. We literally just saw Zach Edey go in the top 10. So who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I feel like Lawrence Goggins says modest Bazilis to the Bulls. Easy hometown kid too. Yeah, I mean, I must have a delay on mine. Gotta have a delay on mine because you guys are catching this before I do, unless you're getting Woj in Sham's tweets. It may not age that poorly. I think like the thing, as Dan Highway says on here, I don't think the Edey pick will age that poorly. When I think about it, I like theoretically what Edey can bring to the table, right? I just think the lack of true floor stretchiness is what had him fall past, because dude just won the College Player of the Year. Dan also says I turned them off. I don't want to be spoiled. I did too. I had to at the beginning of the previous stream because it's the same shit that happens with the NFL draft with what's his name? Adam Schefter. Had to turn it off. So was so tired of having the pick split for me. It does ruin the fun of it. And so that's exactly why, like, I anytime any draft that I pay attention to, whether that be the MLB draft, NFL draft, or the NBA draft, I always have to turn shit off because I don't want it to spoil for me. Kurt Davis says if there was ever real basketball gods, they will let Deron fall to the Cavs. The question is, will the Cavaliers, if he is on the table, would the Cavaliers actually take him? Because it would be very Cavalerian. I don't know. It would be very Cavs-like for them to pass on him, right? It was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago where there were a number of prospects that I felt at 14 where the Cavaliers selected Ochai Agbaji. And it doesn't matter, right? Because whoever was going to be picked was going to end up being traded. But it was a few seasons ago. I think there were a number of players that were on the board at pick 14 that the Cavaliers just passed on. Ultimately, wouldn't have mattered because they likely would have been moved in the Donovan Mitchell trade, but still, point stands. Adelman says, who would you rather have, Tristan da Silva or Holmes? Tristan da Silva, if he is on the board. Holmes is the number one guy because to me, I feel like Tristan's going to be gone. And we're getting into that territory, between 11 to 20 where that could be the case. But if I had to pick, I would definitely take da Silva right now. If I had to choose between the two. And that pains me. That hurts me to say that because as a Dayton guy, born and raised there, I have an affinity for these guys. I have a bias for Dayton prospects. I don't know if any of you guys are from the area or if you've paid attention to Dayton basketball over the years. Guys, I really wanted is as much as people give me grief for my takes on Isaac Okoro. I didn't even want Isaac Okoro in the 2020 draft. I wanted Obi Toppin. And I still am pissed off that we got cheated out of not being able to compete for a national championship due to COVID of all things. We got robbed, and whether or not we would have won the championship at all, um, but no, I mean, I wanted Toppin in that draft. I wanted Toppin in the 2020 draft. Harkening further back than that, you guys remember guys like Charles Cook and Scoochie Smith. Scoochie Smith, who never really got an opportunity at the NBA level, was a fun guy to watch for a while at UD. I don't know. We'll see. I would love to have either one of those guys. But if I had to pick between the two, if DeSilva was on the board, I'm definitely taking DeSilva. Tune in. If you're just joining me, yeah, they're trying to pack me up, man. They got me my first career strike on YouTube, trying to be more, what's the right word? What is the word that I'm looking for? I'm trying to be more cognizant of that and using things, but I knew that it was going to end up possibly happening with me literally live streaming YouTube TV. I knew that shit was going to happen. And I was very, very surprised. I was very, very surprised to see that, because I was talking and I go from, I think 50 something, maybe 52 people in here to 0 all of a sudden. I'm like, oh God, I knew they got me. I knew it was going to happen. Eric says, I'm taking Holmes more upside. The Silva's more of a jack of all trades. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Holmes, he can protect the rim. He can space the floor. He's shown semblance of switchability. He can rebound at a very excellent rate. I would love to have either one of those guys. But if DeSilva's on the board, I'd probably lean more DeSilva just because of our need at wing, right? We keep saying we need a bigger wing, and that to me is probably your best chance at getting one if he's on the board. I'm going to assume that I'm pronouncing this correctly. Duque Helper says, can you remove the strike? Yeah, they fall off after 90 days if you take the strike school. I think that's what they call it. If you attend the strike school, they teach you about what strikes are and why they are and how you can get them and things like that. But the thing is, if you end up getting 3 strikes in that period of time, they will terminate your channel. So you have to be very, very careful with copyright strikes. That's what it essentially is. So you have to be very, very careful. If you get 3 of them, then they can terminate your channel. That is my first one. I've had the channel for maybe 3 years now. And you guys know, if you're an NBA content creator such as myself, you use a lot of NBA content. But when you get into live streaming, like streaming services, literally me showcasing YouTube TV during a live stream, yeah, it was probably bound to happen. So I understand, but it is, like Tunit says down here, some BS, straight up bullshit. Eric says Holmes can play wing. Yeah, he can. He could play anywhere between. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. It really just depends to me. Are you saying 3? Because personally, I don't see him as a 3 at the NBA level. I see 4 or 5, and a lot of people believe he is an undersized 5 at that. I get the appeal as a shot blocking presence. Averaged 2.1 blocks this past season for Dayton. But I would not put him out there at the 3. I do not buy into his switchability enough yet at the 3 like I did with Lowry. Lowry's actually a lot more nimble than people give him credit for. And I think I think he can get there, but I just don't see him as a 3. I would not play him at the 3, but to each their own. Maybe you can get away with it. B-Bird says, this Bazilis dude looks like a beast. Yeah, he does. Definitely does. Sheesh. We still got 8 picks to go. Well, what, 7, 8 picks to go until we get to pick 20. I think I asked this in the first part of the stream, but I'm going to ask it again. How do you guys feel about them breaking the draft up into 2 separate nights? I don't love that idea, but I get why. Eric says, I can't believe Dalton hasn't been picked up yet. Yeah, man. I look at his potential rise because a lot of people are saying Dalton Connect was going to be a potential top 10 pick. And I honestly was sold on the idea of that happening, but I am very, very surprised. So many international guys, man. So many international type prospects out there. Was it three French players in the top 6? Is that what it was to begin the draft? We got Bazilis and a number of other guys slated to be picked up. Duque Helper says, do you think Kenny Atkinson has any involvement in this Cavs draft? I would hope so. I mean, I'm sure that they have been in contact with him about at least getting his insight into the potential players that he might like to coach or develop. But at the end of the day, this is still Kobe Altman, and if you believe Dan Gilbert, all the Dan Gilbert rumors out there about him being involved in this offseason, maybe. But I think this boils down to what Kobe would like to add to the roster. Eric says, would you go Dalton over to Silva? Yeah, I would definitely would, but I just don't think he would fall down that far. He ain't going past 20, in my opinion. Somebody will get this guy. Somebody will get him. OKC. Who's OKC taking? We shall see. We shall see. Okay, Steve, man, I cannot believe how big of a leap they took this season. I thought that they would take a step, but they're a young ass group over there, and they really, really impressed me. And if you guys have followed the channel for any number of seasons, you know that I was a huge, huge fan of Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. Not the other Jalen Williams, but Jalen Williams, who was drafted in the same draft with Ochai Agbaji. I was a huge, huge fan of Jalen Williams, and he proved me right in a lot of different regards. I think that they are trending upward, especially after the trade for Alex Caruso. I still cannot believe they were able to get Caruso for Giddey. We'll see. Kirk Davis says, just thinking how bad Stephen A will be getting on my nerves with his Knicks this year. Stephen A, man, like I said in the earlier stream, he'd just be pissing me off. Sheesh. I have no idea. I like the Bulls. Dan Highway says, what were the Bulls cooking with that trade? Personally, I have no fucking clue what direction they're going in, right? For the last 2 seasons, it has felt like they are directionless. It felt like they didn't want to commit to a rebuild or commit to not contending because they're in a fucking contenders, or commit to what direction they're going in. Topic is the pick to OKC. Okay, I can see it. Lawrence says this draft is going pretty decent after all so far. Yeah, I mean, man, there's a lot of Nicolas in the NBA now, and we could see another one come off the board over the course of this draft. And Nikola Jurisic, who I'm actually a pretty big fan of. I think he's going to end up going in the second round. But there's a lot of Nicolas. You have Nikola Jokic. You have Nikola Jovic over in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. Now you have Nikola Topic. And you could potentially have Nikola Jurisic. So many. That's 4. That is such a popular name overseas, it appears. Serbia, right? I think. Yeah. I think all of the Nicolas that are in the NBA are from Serbia. And I'm pretty sure Nikola Jurisic is as well. Second Serbian-born player drafted in the lottery behind Darko Milicic. What a name, Darko. Remember that guy? Remember that guy? Sheesh. Alrighty, we have 7 picks left. We have 7 picks left. Who do we think the Cavaliers are going to end up with, guys? Who do we think the Cavaliers are going to end up with? Because we still have a good number of guys still on the board. We still have a good number of players still on the board. We still have Tristan Da Silva still out there. Tyler Kolek, if anybody's a fan of him. Khalil Ware, Jared McCain is still on the board. Jacoby Walter, Bob Carrington, Eve Missy, Isaiah Collier, who's fallen. Bobby Clintman, Furphy. I'm not a fan of Johnny Furphy, but he is on the board. Ryan Dunn, Keshawn George, just a lot of names, right? Holmes, obviously, who we've been talking about. Tyler Smith, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Kyla Filipowski, who a lot of people have become enamored with. Baylor Shearman. A lot of names still on the board. Who we going with? Kirk says Silva or Duran. Dan says, I remember I wanted Darko so bad a few years ago. Yeah. All right. Sacramento. Sacktown is on the board. It's pretty awesome that they were able to experience a high level of success under Mike Brown. And I'm glad they ended up bringing him back because there was this whole song and dance in regards to whether he was going to end up staying there or not. But that's pretty cool. I love to see coaches get second chances if I feel like they weren't given a fair opportunity. And Mike Brown, after sitting with the Golden State Warriors for a number of years behind Steve Kerr, I'm glad he got another opportunity and he ran with it. Eric says trade for another pick and get Holmes and Dalton. Would be cool. I just don't think Dalton's going to fall outside the top 20, man. All right, says the pick is in. Who is Sacramento taking? Bro, what the fuck is Devin Carter wearing? that guy is just what's up with these glasses, man? What is going on? What is going on? UK Helper says, what are we doing with Luke Travers? I don't know. I put out content on Travers about a month and a half ago, right before the end of the season. And I think right alongside the NBL playoffs, covering his current journey. And you guys should go check that out if you haven't already. Very, very informational stuff there. But I would hope that we get another look at him during the summer league. I think we will. And I think now is honestly the perfect time to bring him over. I'd rather them not waste another year on development over season with the NBL. Although I do believe the NBL is better in a lot of respects than the G League is. But I would love to see Travers in wine and gold. I think he has the potential to be a glue guy at the NBA level. Who is Sacramento picking? Who are they taking? Carter. I still cannot believe these guys are on the board, man. No problem, man. No problem. Six picks away. Correct. We are 6 picks away. I think I might end the stream after pick 20 because I just do not feel like the Cavaliers are going to end up trading back into the first round. Who is it? Carter. Okay. I think it's going to end up being good. Definitely somebody who I definitely knew was going to go in the top 15. Now we really get into territory where anything can happen because there's a number of players still on the board. Thank goodness De Silva's still there. Thank goodness Deron Holmes is still on the board. Tyler Smith is still there. Dalton Connect, Bub, a lot of different pieces, a lot of good talent is still on the board. Kyle, Terrence. I mean, who knows? Who really knows? Kaishan George, McCain, Walter, Ryan Dunn, right? I think Ryan Dunn's still on the board. Maybe I missed that one. Yes, they did. They love their defenders over there, man. They love their defenders over there. Andrew says, trade 4 future second round picks for number 30 and take Bronny James. I still think Bronny's going 55th overall to the Lakers. I don't think people seriously believe LeBron is going to leave the Lakers just to follow him. And I'm not taking him at pick 20 either, Derpy. Just based upon the reporting, and you got to take it for a grain of salt, obviously. But I do not believe that even if the Cavaliers draft Bronny, that Braun is a lock to follow. I think he would consider it. I just don't think he would be a lock to do so. Eric says, I like Bub, so does McNuggets. Now, if Duran and Tristan and Tyler Smith are off the board, yeah, I'm okay with Bub Carrington. I'd be okay with that. Especially with Karis LeVert only having, I think, another year, maybe one more year on his contract. If they look to move up off of him, maybe mid-season or just let him go. I don't know. Time will tell, but I would be okay with Bub Carrington if one of those guys is not available. We shall see. We're getting closer. We are getting closer and closer. Andrew says, Dan going to override Kobe Altman again and pick Bronny James at 20. Proposed trade. Okay. It was Denny Avdia. That's what it was. I forgot that already. Denny Avdia. And it was pick 14 along with who was it? Was it Malcolm Brogdon? I think it was. Yeah, McNuggets, appreciate it, man. Mikey, good friend of mine. Awesome coverage of the Cavaliers over with Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. For however people feel about Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, because I know that it's definitely has a huge following. I will say that a lot of people are either fans of it or they hate it, but Mikey is definitely a highlight of that crew over there. Dan says, "Man, what are the Wizards doing too?" I don't know, man. I think I started off the other stream by saying that all they really have now is Bilal Coulibaly, right? If you consider that a building block, and then you recently drafted Alex Sarr, but letting go of Danny, who had turned in a career year last year, I don't know. I would have held on to him, but maybe they feel it was worth it. Tunin says Mikey knows his stuff. Yeah, Mikey played. I think he played D3 ball, and he has pretty good sources around the NBA. He has a good number of connections, and obviously knows basketball. So I love talking with him whenever I can bring him on. Yeah. Kirk says maybe we hear about some more re-signing by end of the week or next week. I need this whole saga to be over, man. I really need Donovan Mitchell to sign on the dotted line or just tell us the fuck off or he's not going to resign. I need some clarity here, but I understand that this could take a lot longer than we want it to. All right. The pick is in. Please don't spoil it because my stream seems to be far behind some of yours. Man. Who we going with? Who we going with, Portland? Bub? Bub went 14? What? Bub went 4? Okay. Okay. That is, it tells you right there that anything can happen. Wow. Bub, see, I thought he would go closer to 20. I thought he might be on the board. But 14, yeah, the pick it's got to be De Silva or it's got to be De Silva, Holmes, or Smith now with Carrington off the board. I'm not a fan of Kaishawn George. I'm not a huge believer in Johnny Furphy. I get some of the allure with some of these other prospects, but wow, Bub at 14. My jaw's on the floor, man. He must have made one hell of an impression. Wow. Damn. That changes things. That changes things a lot. Yeah, Eric, my sentiments is aptly. He says, "What Bub went before Dalton De Silva?" I'm astounded. For one, I did not believe Dalton Connect would last this far. Man, I did not believe he would last this far. And then secondly, that's just crazy. That is crazy. They got themselves a good one. Yeah, he killed it in the workouts, and I think he was okay. He was really good. Made a hell of an impression at the combine. Man, he's got good size too. I mean, you just look at what he brings to the table. It was no wonder why Cavs faithful were interested in bringing him in at pick 20. Made one hell of an impression, but 14, god damn. All right, we got Miami on the board, followed by Philly, and then Los Angeles. This is the territory that I truly believe that De Silva is a huge threat to be picked in. Maybe Philadelphia or LA takes him. I hope not. I hope he sticks. Definitely a good pickup for them. Definitely a good pick for them. Wait, okay. This is gonna sound stupid as hell, but that does that go to Washington or is that Portland? Who is he going to? Because of that trade earlier, they traded Denny and they got the 14th pick. So I guess that is Washington, right? Maybe. I'm spacing out. Somebody help me. Denny. Okay, thanks, Lawrence. Yes. So that was the trade that included Malcolm Brogdon as well. I think it's the graphics. It's the graphics on on the selection, right? Because they still had Portland showing there. Andrew, I just do not think they're gonna waste a first rounder. Especially if they want to contend, I do not think they're going to want to pick. I don't think they're going to want to pick Bronny using that 17th pick. Honestly, I think that is where Tristan De Silva ends up. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, I think that's what it's going to end up being. That's crazy though. I'm still blown, man. I am blown by that. I don't think he's going to leave, but I just don't think I don't think they're going to spend the 17th pick on him. That's crazy though, man. I am blown away by that. They might. I don't know. Dan says I wouldn't put it past the Lakers front office to take Bronny. I mean, anything is on the table. I mean, literally, we just saw that. Zach Edey went super high. Carrington just went. But the closer, as Andrew says down here, please someone take Furphy, not a fan of his. The closer that we get to pick 20, I'm starting to feel like Furphy is going to end up being the pick. Maybe I'm wrong. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. What a draft, man. What a draft. Okay, the pick is in. Who are we going with? Who are we going with, Miami? If you're taking Bronny in the first round, you sure as hell. If you're LA, I guess. But if you're not LA, you better sure as hell believe that LeBron is going to come to your franchise. I just don't think it's happening. It's getting scary, Lawrence. I mean, we got a couple of picks left. De Silva's still there, Holmes is still there, Smith is still there, Bub is gone. That really pisses me off because it dwindles down the pool that I was okay with. Now I feel like it's either going to be Furphy or Filipowski. I just have a feeling. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's see here. Who we still got on the board? We still have Dalton Connect. We still have Tristan. We still have Khalil Ware. That's another name we haven't really talked about too much. I'm a pretty big fan of his. Jarrett McCain is still out there. So is Jacoby Walter. Eve Missy still on the board. Isaiah Collier. Bobby Clintman. Obviously Furphy. Dunn, Holmes, George. Still a good number of prospects still out there. But the guys that I'm okay with, I got a feeling they're going to start coming off the board. Adam says, haven't heard of Ware. Is he good? Yeah, check him out, man. Khalil Ware, very, very good in a lot of aspects and in terms of some of the physical traits that he showcases. The question marks with him are somewhat mental, as people have questioned his motor at times and motivation. He's coming off a season at 7 foot, mind you. This is a 7 foot, 210-pound center for Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, this past season, in which he was able to contribute 15.9 points and pull down damn near double-digit rebounds at 9.9 per game. And the real kicker for a lot of people is the potential floor spacing that he showcases. 42.5% from three-point distance this past season with Indiana. But the caveat is the volume. He took just 1.3, if I'm not mistaken, 1.3 3-point attempts per game this past season. So there's some potential floor spacing there, but I understand the appeal with Ware. I think it's there. All right, here we go. Please don't spoil it for me, guys, if you've already gotten it. I think with the Cavaliers, due to our need for a third big, I think he would be playable right away, especially if he comes in swinging with the 3 ball. Fuck off. Oh man, Khalil Ware. They just took Khalil. Okay. Okay. All right. So that, I guess that's a good thing, right? Because Tristan is still on the board. Duran is still on the board. Smith, right? Okay. All right. I can live with that. But that is definitely a good one. That's a good one. All right. All right. He did, but that's still a good selection. He is a that is a good selection for Miami. If there's anybody that can get him to buy in, and again, remember, like I said, a lot of the questions for Ware are not like on the court. They're what is his basketball motivation? Does he have a motor? Does he want to actually improve? Those are the real question marks with him. Some behavioral stuff in his time in at the collegiate level, but if anybody can sort that shit out, it is Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat coaching staff. So that's a solid pickup for them. Watch him. I'm Miami Heat, man. They classically, that's a classic Miami pick, man. They could do work together. Both again, Ware just 1.3 3-point attempts per game just this past season with Indiana, but he shot it pretty efficiently, over 40+%, and I buy it. I think there's a lot of times when guys are taking small amounts in volume and you don't really buy the shot. I do. I think it's live. I still cannot believe they gave me a strike for that shit. Because I wanted to include the draft in the live stream, but I get it. Okay, let's see here. Jeez Louise. I have stayed away from Twitter too. I've stayed away from Twitter just to not be bombarded. Might have to search. I'm gonna have to get out of here, man. I'm gonna pull my hair out if Deron Holmes is taken. Yeah, I probably should have known better, man. I should have known better. Yes, I echo that sentiment that Andrew's placed in the chat. Please don't spoil the Cavs pick before it comes in if you've gotten it before we do. Lawrence, excellent statement there. He says, "Yeah, I hope he doesn't have that 8-man type of mentality towards basketball. He like workers. He better be ready." And that's why I think this is a good location for him. Right? They could definitely end up getting the most out of him. We'll see. We still got a few picks left. Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Orlando. Is it who is it? Is it Atlanta right before us? Am I tripping? No, it's Toronto. Toronto's right before us. Wow. I'm still shook over that Carrington selection. This is not Malika dry snitching. In and out of the abyss says, I have a weird feeling that we are picking Keyshawn, or is it Keyshawn, George? I'm just not I don't see it, man. I do not see it. I don't see it. I understand the appeal. I don't like the lack of athleticism from Kaishan. There's a number of things that stick out to me with him, but it is what it is. I'll try to approach it with an open mind if that's who ends up being the selection. Fetty says, Mack, who's your number one on the board? Well, it is kind of like a two-way tie right now, honestly, between De Silva and Holmes. If Holmes is still on the board, if De Silva is still on the board, if I'm forced to choose between the two, I'm taking De Silva. If De Silva is off the board, I am taking Holmes. So close, man. But the need for a wing, is just it's up there, man. Lawrence says thoughts on Connect. I would be if they ended up going that route. If he falls, assuming that he does continue to fall, I would be okay with that pick, but he would be my preference. I still can't believe he's fallen this far, though, man. I thought he would be like a top 15 guy. But I mean, I don't know. This draft has just been all over the place. It has been all over the place. Who are they taking? Are they going? Jacoby Walter, Jarrett McCain? Yeah, Eve Missy. I did a little bit of profile there with him. I released content. I think he was the first prospect that I really dived into from this class, and I like what he brings to the table as a rim runner, as a rim protector. But his lack of floor spacing is what would dissuade me from picking him, because I just don't want a traditional big. If they're gonna go the route of a big man, I want somebody who can shoot the three ball or has at least shown the touch to potentially develop that shot. We will see, man. We will see. The pick is in. Says no way Sixers pass on Dalton. They could. But I don't know. Maybe they go Walter. Maybe they go McCain. Hell, maybe they go De Silva. I hope not. But I mean, who the fuck knows? This draft has been all over the place. Who are we going with? I like Dunn. Yeah, I did. I actually poked around on him a little bit. I think he would be a good pickup. I did not think he would slide this far, man. I really honestly did not believe that he would slide this far, but we'll see. He has the size, I guess. It's listed at around 6'6", but I guess the real issue with him is the shooting ability, right? It just does not leave a lot to be desired. Okay. Jared McCain. Jared McCain is the pick. Philadelphia. All right. All right. We're getting closer. We are getting closer. We got LA. We got Orlando. We have Toronto. And then we got the Cavs. Holmes would damn near be the perfect fit next to Allen and Mobley as the third big. And essentially, if your plan is to move on from Jarrett Allen eventually, you could easily slide DeRon Holmes into that starting unit, in my opinion. You could easily do that. And that's part of the appeal, right? Because you potentially kill two birds with one stone. You get your third big for right now, and if you eventually want to move on with from Jarrett Allen, then you could get a floor stretching presence at the 4-5. He says, "I'm not here sitting acting like you don't look like Brunson." I've heard that now a lot today over the last couple of streams. I don't take offense to it, but yeah, people are starting to say that more and more. Lauren says, "Didn't expect that pick." In and out of the abyss says, "Look what Atkinson did with Joe Harris. Imagine a bigger, more athletic, better playmaking connect next to DM and DM." I can see it, right? I mean, I wouldn't be pissed at it. He just would not necessarily I would not necessarily have him as my top option. I get the appeal there, but I still would like to go with somebody. If I'm going that position group, I want somebody with a little bit more size. I want somebody with a little bit more size, like 6'7", 6'8". And that's what appeals to me about De Silva. I think he's polished. I think he could step in day one off the bench. And I like the size, right? Versatility is definitely there. Ben Yoder says, just joining the stream. What is up with the Corals weird tweets? The word on the street is that that his account was hacked. But again, you hear these things being said when the guys, either one of two things occurs. They're just out and they're as the kids say, crashing out, and then they will use the excuse, "Oh, my account was hacked." That is usually what you hear, or the account was actually hacked. It's up to you to make the determination on what actually is the real case here. I don't know. Hard to truly tell, because we've seen this type of stuff, this type of behavior from we saw it from Emoni Bates at certain points this past season. But I'll just talk it up to maturity, right? Maturity. All right. LA says the pick is in. Okay, again, guys, if you're just joining, please don't spoil the picks for me, because you're wherever you are watching the draft at, whether you're streaming it or you're watching it live or something like that, you might have a quicker stream than I do. So please don't spoil it for me at the chat, especially the Cavaliers pick. Ben says this draft feels weird. Certainly does, man. It is one of the first drafts in a while where you just legitimately do not know what to expect. After pick 2, where Sarr went to Washington, I legitimately had no idea what to expect, and it really has been the case this entire draft. It's felt like the 2020 draft where you just really didn't know outside of the top maybe 3 or 4 picks where teams were going to opt to go or a direction that they were going in. And that obviously was a huge factor, and that was COVID and not really being able to traditionally scout and do all your proper evals. But this is just a different case, right? A lot of people believe that this is not a star-laden draft. I echo those same sentiments, but I do believe that there are a lot of potential role players and a lot of potential day 1 or maybe year 2 contributors. Not the best draft in recent memory, but certainly not the worst. It's not 2013. Yeah, LA had been mocked to take De Silva a lot, and a few more than a handful of mock drafts from respectable sources. And then the Abyss says, I can see the Lakers liking De Silva with his NBA readiness. And that's what sells me on De Silva. If you're going to go with the wing group, go with De Silva if he's on the board. Again, don't spoil it. Who is it? Okay, I'm confused. What's going on? Hold on. Okay, so Knet is off the board. All right, guys, we're surviving. De Silva is still on the board. We just have to get past Orlando and Toronto. We got 2 picks left. And again, just a reminder, if you're in here, you're watching live stream, do me a favor, hit that like button, help me cook the books, help me get the algorithm going, help the video get some watchability out there. You guys know what to do. Two picks, guys. Two picks. Orlando, who definitely needs a point guard. Maybe they go the route of Jared McCain. I don't know. Who really knows what any of these teams are gonna do? Who really knows? Maybe they go Jacoby Walter. Maybe they go Jared McCain. A lot of the mocks have Jared McCain. What was McCain already been picked? I'm tripping. I'm off my rocker right now. But they definitely need a point guard. Like Jalen Suggs there, but they need a real traditional guard. Like Markelle Fultz, but obviously a lot of these guys are just not getting the job done. Anthony Black is worth mentioning there too. They do have some pieces, but as TuneIn says down here, Cavs can't screw this up. If they screw it up, I'm gonna go ballistic. If De Silva and Holmes are on the board and we walk away with Murphy or Filipowski, I don't know. I might break this computer. Come on. Come on. Two left. Two left. Derpy. I see you're saying fudge. Don't spoil it, Derpy. Don't spoil it first, man. Man. Well, if De Silva is off the board, if that's who Derpy was referring to, I'm still okay if they take Holmes or they get Smith. I don't want Furphy. Don't give me Furphy. Do not give me Filipowski. It's got to be Holmes. It's got to be Smith at that point. Oh, man. This waiting game, man. And then how the Abyss says, Furphy would be like Trey to get Danny Ferry. I mean, I posted earlier on Twitter that if Furphy is the pick, I'll approach the season with an open mind, but I'm going to walk away feeling like the Cavaliers missed if Holmes is still there. Because I honestly just felt like we need a third big and we need a bigger wing and not a guy who's going to take more time to be developed. And I think Furphy falls into that line of, he has upside, but he's not quite developed enough to contribute in year one. And I want somebody who's polished enough to be able to at least step in to a role and provide the Cavaliers with something, right? Fetty says Johnny Furphy fits look like he going on a prom, bro. Eric Abbott says, we reached our white boy limit. We cannot draft Furphy. I'm not touching that one, but feel free to, guys. And now the Abyss says, I feel like we're locked to get Holmes, De Silva, or Smith, at least if we are smart. I don't know. We'll see who Orlando picks. Derpy says that they took him, but I'm not sure who he meant by that. So we'll see. I don't know. Please don't spoil it. Fuck you guys. I thought for sure they were going to go point guard. There. That's a solid pickup for them, though. De Silva is like the safest pick. He's like the safest pick for a number of these teams. A number of teams probably had this guy on the board, and while he fell a little bit further than I thought he would, because I honestly felt like Tristan would go in that 15 to 17 range. I am salty too, Lawrence. I am low-key salty. Derpy, I'm not pissed at you. It's okay. It is what it is. But guys, try not to spoil the Cavs pick, please. Just please do not. I'm not going to look at the chat, but do me a favor. Do not spoil the Cavs pick. All right. Well, we have Toronto. If Toronto picks Deron Holmes, I'm gonna be pissed, man. I'm gonna be pissed. I can feel the saltiness in my body. I can just feel the saltiness in my body just rising up. This is some bullshit. This honestly, this is the first, like the Bub Carrington pick that surprised me, but this pick just legitimately hurts my feelings. Like if I had the clip for what is it, Gus Johnson's, you invited me to you had barbecue back there and you didn't invite me, hurt my feelings clip, I would play that right now because that's how I feel. Feelings are hurt. Oh man, De Silva is a big wing going to a team that already has a big ass lineup. That doesn't that just piss you off? Fuck you. All right. Who is Toronto taking? Who are we going here? So I can get off of this stream happy at least for Cleveland. If they get Holmes, I'll be content. I'll be content. Gotta be. If they take Jaylon Tyson, as Lawrence Goggins suggests, I'd be okay. I did some work on Tyson, and I am a fan of his. He's a little undersized for my liking, but at the end of the day, he can create his own shot. My only reservations with him are how will his skills translate off ball, because I think that they're going to stick him into an off ball role. That would be his early way to carve out minutes. And while I do believe in the shot, I definitely think that he is going to have an adjustment period playing off ball, because he had a very, very, very high usage rate, or the usage percentage at Cal. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. In and out of the abyss says, what would you do if the Cavs pick Baylor, Shireman? Honestly, I get the appeal, but I would still be pissed, because again, if Holmes is on the board and they pass him over, I'm legitimately going to pull my locks out. You look at what Baylor was able to do with Creighton this year. Shot damn near, I think, 39% from 3-point distance on very, very high volume. So you don't have to worry about him taking and attempting the shots. He will do that, but he is still and falls into that undersized wing area. They classify him as a guard, right, at 6'6", and I want somebody who is coming in with more size. If you're gonna go the wing position group, you got to be 6'8", 6'9" for me and above at this point. And also an underrated area in regards to evaluation is age, right? Baylor is coming off of a senior season with Creighton, a senior season. He played 5 years at collegiate level, 3 years with South Dakota State, and 2 with Creighton. So he is an older prospect. I do not want that. I don't want a smaller prospect. Lawrence says, dog, not Baylor. That Windler BS again. And let me just point this out. I honestly, when they took Dylan Windler, I was okay with that pick, because coming out of Belmont that year, it made sense. He was a volume shooter. He could rebound very, very well for his size, and he could score. Obviously, injuries took their toll, and we never got a return on investment with that, but it made sense. So I understood it at the time. But yes, no 6'6", no 6'5" guys. I know Jaylon Tyson falls in that area, but I do actually like Jaylon Tyson. I'm just hoping that they go with a third big or a big wing. And there's just not many left that I find to my liking right now. So I'm honestly very, very blown. I'm very, very blown, very, very bummed about this De Silva pick. Still. Lawrence says Windler stole my tax money for 4 years. Indeed, he did. He did, man. Still cannot believe that that did not work out. Add that to the list, right? Dylan Windler didn't work out. Kevin Porter Jr. didn't work out. Isaac Okoro may or may not have worked out. I don't know. I don't know, man. A Tribe Called Judah says if Holmes is gone, the pick should be Placon Daddier. I would be okay with that at this point, because Bub is gone, and I don't want Furphy, and I'm not really high on Filipowski. I would be okay with that. All right. But again, A Tribe Called Judah. If you're just now joining, please do not spoil if you get the pick across your screen. Anybody watching right now with me, please don't spoil it. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best not to pay attention to the chat too much, but I cannot help it. I can't help it. Kirk Davis says, Cavs bet not draft the point guard, bro. Like, for real. I'm there with you, bud. I'm there with you. All right. Toronto pick is in. Again, don't spoil it. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Who is that? Jacoby Walter. Okay. He's on the board. He is on the board. We still have the Silva. If the Cavaliers fuck this up, guys, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I do not know what I'm going to do. It's pick 20. It's time, guys. It's time. There's a number of picks still on the board. There's still the potential that we get Deron Holmes. Please don't spoil it. Kobe, do not fuck this one up. Please. Please. Yes, as Lord says, this is the one to make up for Obi. Please make it happen. You did not give me Obi Toppin in the 2020 draft. I did not get to watch my beloved Dayton Flyers get to contend for a title in the NCAA tournament. Make it right. Make it right, Kobe. Get us our third big. Get us our third big. All right, I'm not looking down here. I'm going to assume you guys are going to be cool and not spoil it, but I'm still not going to look. All right, just don't say anything until I react to it because I don't know. I'm so nervous right now. I am so fucking nervous right now. Holy shit, man. I ain't been this nervous in a draft in a minute. Because it's not like with Ochai, during that draft, we kind of knew. I kind of had a really good feeling Ochai was going to end up being the selection in that draft. And then, it is what it is. Derpy, don't you do it. Derpy, bro, don't make me boot you, man. I can't do it. Don't make me boot you. I don't want to do it. Maybe you're trolling, maybe you're not. Don't do it. Don't do me like that. All right, I'm gonna have to, for my own good, I'm gonna have to change the tab here from comments to banners, just because I don't trust. I don't trust that somebody is gonna spoil this shit for me. Okay, so we got Walter off the board to Toronto. That's a good pickup for them. If Kobe Altman fucks this up, I'm gonna be pissed. I have no notice turned on, so I'm not being bombarded by Shams or by Woj. So I'm not even looking at the chat anymore because I don't trust you guys. I don't trust you guys. Okay. Because on my stream, I still have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left for the Cavaliers to make a pick, and I could be behind. Okay. Don't take Filipowski. Don't take Isaiah. Don't take Eve. Don't take Kaishan. Don't take any of these fuckers. Don't take any of them. Give me Holmes. Oh, I can feel it. Something tells me this is bad. I see the comments have stacked up. I'm not even looking at it. I had to switch the tap on you guys. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. And generally, contrary to popular belief, I have trusted Kobe Altman. to do the right thing in previous drafts. I'm not feeling good about this. I'm not. Oh, it's killing me. The pick is in. The pick is in. The pick is in. I see 9 comments now. Okay, let me see. I opened my phone up. It almost got me. It almost got me. I almost looked at Twitter. That would have surely fucked it up for me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Fight it. I gotta fight I gotta fight the urge. I gotta fight the urge here. I got 12 comments in here now. Again, if you guys are joining, hit that like button. You really do not know how much you're helping me out by hitting that like. It really does help with the algorithm. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I try and come out with content all the live long day in regards to the Cavaliers, and you don't want to miss it. I try and drop content daily. Here lately, I've been live streaming more than ever, multiple times a day. But this is the perfect time to do it. Love interacting with you guys. Maybe not right now because I don't want anybody to spoil shit for me, but I love talking to you guys, man. So hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. And if you want to support the podcast in a small but helpful way, consider becoming a member over on Patreon. I'm going to put a link to that in the description of this episode. You can become a member free. You can certainly do that. But you can also become a paid member for as little as $1 a month. That's less than you spend on coffee. Consider doing that. All right, Cavaliers. What do you got in store? What you got in store? What do you have in store? And by the way, I think I'm probably going to end the stream after pick 20 because I just don't feel like Cavaliers are going to end up trading back into the first round. I'll track it, but I'll probably end the stream after I react to the pick. But I'm starting to have a bad feeling about this. Can't check social media because I know it'll get ruined. Can't check the chat because I know somebody will ruin it for me. I cannot trust anybody right now. Not even my own wife. I can't trust anybody right now. Oh, and if you guys are noticing, man, this the craziest shit happened earlier. My mic, man, pissed off. My Yeti mic went out on me today. So I had to resort to using this old mic that I had when I first started the pod. Not the best quality from an audio standpoint, but it's getting the job done. All right, Cleveland. What's it gonna be? I'm gonna turn the sound up. I'm sure you guys are already watching it. Hopefully I don't get a strike, another one. All right, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Oh, man. Come on. Come on. Look, I like Jaylon Tyson. Don't get me wrong. He was one of my guys. He was a top 5. He was a top 5. He was a top 5 for me. But Holmes is on the board. Oh, man. All right. Let me hop into this chat. See how you guys are feeling about it. Look, 6'5" forward, 6'5" wing is another undersized wing. Kobe Allman and staff are in love with their undersized wings. I'm so salty right now. We did not get De Silva. We did not get Tyson. We did not get Holmes, and we did not get Smith. I am so salty right now. Come on, bro. Come on. I like Jaylon Tyson for what it is worth. I just did not like the fit here. I am so fucking tired of undersized wings here. Now, if you're gonna play Tyson as a third guard, maybe if you're looking to move on from Caris LeVert, I get it. But man, this this is not leaving a good taste in my mouth, man. I like Jaylon Tyson, but 6'5". Oh my gosh. Nah, bro, he's 6'5". They measured him at the combine. I'm gonna pull his measurables up again while we're on the live stream. But oh man, that just pisses me off. Like I wanted to go Holmes. I wanted to go third big. Jesus, man. This just pisses me off. Holy fuck. I can't do it. I'm pissed. This is a Kobe Altman pick for sure. Jaylon Tyson. Oh, what? 6'5.5". That is what he was measured at without shoes. So I guess 6'7", 6'7" with shoes on. I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. Yeah. As Tunin says, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of it, but I'll learn to love it, I guess. That's the only thing that I can do. I'm gonna echo the same sentiment here as I did about Johnny Furphy. Not my preferred pick, not my preference, but I'm going to enter the season with an open mind. But man, I did not want another undersized thing. I just did not want that to be the case. I feel like they missed this one. I think Holmes, they're going to look back and they're going to regret this pick. That's just my initial day one reaction. That is my day one reaction. That could change when I see the guy play, when I see him in Summer League. I don't know. I scouted him. I had him on my top. He was in my top 5. But based upon who is available, I just do not see how you don't go. I don't see how you don't go Holmes or Smith. Mike Weissong says, oops, we did it again. Cue the Britney Spears song. Fuck. It blows me, man. Rob says, Kobe wife said, oh, he's tall and he hasn't drafted somebody over 6'5" since I feel it. What in the actual fuck are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? Exactly. That's my exact sentiments exactly. In and out of the best says I like Tyson, but only because I thought Holmes would be available. Watch them take Holmes. Yves Missi. Okay, Yves Missi's a solid player. He fits. This hurts my feelings, guys. This hurts my feelings. Dayton gets screwed again. Cavaliers take another smallish wing. Cavalier special. We just love our small wings here, man. Now, how do we actually improve that position group? How do we actually get bigger at that position group? I don't really know. I really do not know. I don't know. Time will tell. I have been on here for a little while now. So I'm going to let you guys go because I am legitimately salty. I'm not going to have a meltdown on the pod. I'm going to give this guy a chance. I do like his game, but I would have preferred Holmes. That said, if you guys want to reach out to me, you know how you can. It's Cavalier_pod on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. If you want to be added to the It's Cavalier Discord chat, you know what to do. Leave a rating, leave a review, send a screenshot of said reviews. It's Cavalier@gmail.com, and I will send you an invite. So this was a bummer of a night, guys. Not only did I get my first strike on YouTube for the previous stream because of actually showcasing YouTube TV, but we didn't actually walk away with any of the guys that I truly wanted. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night. Go Cavs.